Hey guys, Tripper D5821 here. Today I want to do my my tabletop review of the Alien Gear line of Cloak Tuck holsters. I did get my Cloak Tuck 3.0 yesterday in the mail, so I'm anxious to get it put together and see what it's like. But I want to go ahead and give you my review of what I think of the Cloak Tuck original, the Cloak Tuck 2.0, and now of course the Cloak Tuck 3.0. So here we go. Okay guys, these are the three Alien Gear Cloak Tuck holsters that I have ordered. With the Cloak Tuck 3.0, all I did was order the back since I already had the shell. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shell off of my Cloak Tuck original right there that has my 1911 in it, and I'm going to place that on the new 3.0. The original Cloak Tuck holster has got a leather backing. It's fairly decent quality leather, about 1/8 of an inch thick. It's very comfortable to wear. The only thing that I don't like about the leather one is that of course here in Texas it gets really hot and you sweat, and if you do it enough it will get through the leather, and that moisture then gets on the metal of your firearm. And again, moisture and metal does not mix. Now the original and the 2.0, which is the one right here that has my 9mm Sigma in it, they're basically made the same. When I say that, the hardware is installed all the same way. So for example, on this, and just so you know, all the weapons here are live. They are loaded, so we will not be handling the actual weapons themselves. But if you notice, all the hardware, you have your T-nuts here. All of your T-nuts are exposed to your body. They're exposed to your sweat. And so when it comes to the hardware, they're the same. And of course, you can see the same thing here on the leather backing. They are exposed. Now, I've worn both of these a lot, and I am a definite fan of Alien Gear. They are very comfortable. If you've ever tried to find an inside the waistband holster that was comfortable to wear, I would say that these are probably the most comfortable. I started off with a Uncle Mike's Tactical inside the waistband holster. It was very bulky. It didn't really hug the body too well. It was almost like a bent piece of PVC pipe. Whereas these are very thin, low profile, and basically if you have enough room to put your pistol just inside your pant waist with a belt on, then you have enough room in your pants without having to buy an extra size bigger to wear these holsters. Now the difference between the original Alien Gear Cloak Tuck and the 2.0 is that the 2.0 has got a neoprene back, so it's water resistant. There's a middle layer, a middle plastic layer, to try to keep the moisture from getting through there and to give some additional support. And then it's got that faux leather, kind of a heavy duty vinyl, I guess you would say, outer shell. The advancements that they've made from the 2.0 to the 3.0 is first thing is that you'll see that there's no hardware. You can't see any hardware on the back. Again, with this one here, you see all the hardware, all the T-nuts. So Alien Gear really listened to their customers and got rid of that. The only time you're going to have any hardware on here is when we have to put the nuts here in the holes to put our clips on. Another thing that they did was they put a piece of spring metal between the two layers so that it's very pliable. It holds its form very well, and you don't have that bend over the top of the weapon. It's going to stay up there. And then of course they put they're calling it like an alien skin rubberized type outer layer here with their logo and the American flag stamped on there. So I'm very excited about that. I'm hoping it's as comfortable, if not more comfortable, than the 2.0, and it should be a lot more comfortable than the original Cloak Tuck. Now with the holsters, anytime you order the holsters, of course you get the instruction guide here. It shows you how to put it on and what position they recommend you wear. They recommend you wear these holsters in the 430 position. Me personally, I wear it between the 3 and 4, just because I like to keep my sidearm where it is all the time, regardless of the holster that I wear. So I'm a strong side, 3 to 4 o'clock kind of guy. So even with these holsters, I put it there. Yeah, this part of the holster does kind of ride along the front part of my where my hip and leg come together, but it's not uncomfortable at all. After a while, you even forget that you have the holster on. The other thing you get is their triple ironclad guarantee. Basically, you have 30 days to try out the holster and the backing. If you don't like it, you send it back. No questions asked. They give you a full refund. If any part of this holster system fails, the clips break, the backing tears, you break your bolt-on shell there, they will replace it. You send them the broken one, they'll fix it for you for free. If you change weapons, let's say that I get rid of my Sigma and I get me a Glock. All I got to do is let Alien Gear know that I've changed weapons, send them this shell, tell them what shell I need, they'll replace that shell absolutely free. So free exchanges for life, free repairs for life, and again, if I decide I don't like it within 30 days, I can return it. Also, with every holster you get some you get the hardware for the holster, so that you can go ahead and put everything on there, and then you get some spare parts, usually some screws, some bushings, and of course it always comes with an Allen key. And of course you get the gratuitous Alien Gear sticker. I'm going to go ahead and move the shell from my original Alien Gear Cloak Tuck holster over to my Alien Gear Cloak Tuck 3.0, and we'll get a look and see how it looks. Alright. Okay guys, now we've got the hardware moved from the original Cloak Tuck holster over to the Cloak Tuck 3.0, and I went ahead and cleared the 1911 so that I could talk to you about the retention of these holsters. Now, it's got pretty good retention just like there. I could hold it upside down here and the pistol's going to slip out. Well, you might think, well Trooper, that's a deal breaker. If my weapon's not secure, then I don't want to wear that. Well, the cool thing about that is that whenever you put this holster on, this neoprene backing pushes up against the weapon. So if I put just a little bit of pressure on the back of that holster and shake it, that pistol's not going anywhere. So you can see that that it's very secure in that holster. And the cool thing about that is that you don't have to over tighten those nuts. You can use all these different bushings here to get the tension that you want, so that it's easy for you to holster and unholster, to where you don't have a lot of stick, a lot of pull, a lot of drag, but that it's still tight enough that you will feel secure with that weapon in that holster, that if you fall down in a tussle, your weapon's not going to fall out of the holster. It's going to stay in the holster. If you're upside down for some reason, the pistol will not fall out of the holster. It'll stay in the holster. Overall, I have really grown to like this holster. It is very, or at least the Cloak Tuck holsters, they're very comfortable. The way that they're made, because they're so wide, it spreads out the weight of the firearm so that it's not just in one spot. It spreads it out across your hip. And as you can see, like, this is the original. And you can see where the top was folding over the top of my pistol. Some say that's also a deal breaker, that it's a safety issue, that when you go to holster your weapon, that flap's going to get in your way. I personally think it's a training issue. If you train with your holster and your gear, you'll get to know your gear and your holsters, and you'll know how to reholster, just like your draws. Just like I know that the 45 is going to kick more than my 9mm, and I know that the trigger pull on my 1911 is a lot more crisp than it is on my Sigma. So you have to train with it. You have to know it. You need to know the strengths and weaknesses of your gear, so that whenever you're out there using it, you can use it proficiently, and that it won't be a hindrance. The other thing too is, whenever you're dealing with all this stuff that's got screws on it, make sure you clean your screws, and maybe put just a dab, not a lot, just a dab of Loctite on there, and not the red stuff, any of the other stuff. The red stuff is permanent, but put something on there that's going to hold those in place, because you don't want your clips to fall off. You don't want your screws that are holding your gun sheath there. You don't want those falling off, and then your pistol falling down your pant leg or down your shorts. So you got to maintain your gear. But guys, I think for the money, I bought the original and the 2.0 and the buy two deal, and I think it cost me $60 with shipping for the two. When I upgraded to the 3.0, just because I bought just the shoulder back itself, it ran me about $30. You can buy additional shells, so if you have multiple weapons, but you only need the one back, you can buy multiple shells. I believe each shell is an additional $20. You can buy different clips. Each clip set, I believe, runs between $5 and $8 for the set. So again, everything has a lifetime guarantee on it. You can find this at aliengearholsters.com for more information about this. Again, these are not Kydex shells. These are, I believe it's called Bolderon. It's a heavy-duty plastic, which depending on what you watch and what you read, it's a more sturdy, a more reliable type of plastic, whereas Kydex is thinner, and in some cases will deform or will crack. Other thing too about these holsters, compared to say the King Tucks and the crossbreeds and some of these other holsters, are with these holsters you can change out the gun shells. You can adjust the tension, so as the holsters break in a little more, if you need to adjust the tension a little tighter, you can do that. Whereas with the crossbreeds and the King Tucks and those others, those are actually riveted onto the leather, and so there is no adjusting, there is no changing out the shell. If you buy a different weapon, you have to go buy an entirely new holster, and those holsters can run you anywhere between the mid-60s to over $100 per holster. So, you know, again, for the money, these are a good quality holster. They are a good, reliable holster, and I have found them to be very, very comfortable. Okay guys, that was my review of the Alien Gear Cloak Tuck, the Alien Gear Cloak Tuck 2.0, and the Cloak Tuck 3.0. Once I start wearing the 3.0, I will do another review letting you know if it is as comfortable and as reliable as the original and as the 2.0. Until that time, guys, remember, God is awesome. Put everything in His hands. Stay safe, and God bless.
Take me to the brig so I can see the real Marines.
Good night, Chesty.